Hello everyone, good evening. We are at the last episode of our PsychTalks on meditation today. It's been an amazing journey across the last 8-9 weeks where we have had the opportunity to connect with some of the most amazing people who have helped us understand certain researches that are happening in the area of meditation and how meditation can be applied as a part of your day-to-day life and the benefits that you can receive apart from the research discussions that we have had. Before I begin the last episode, quickly to give an introduction about this series and who we are. So this series is a result of association between ICHARS Support Foundation and SpARC wing of BhramaKumaris. We have come together to have this interaction where we are discussing about the different researches related to meditations and specifically the meditations practiced in BhramaKumaris. And along with that, it's spreading awareness about mental health and why it's important for all of you to focus on your mental health, how meditation can be one way of doing that, and how there are multiple other ways, including consulting a practitioner, visiting a meditation center, joining certain other activities as a part of your day-to-day life, as focus on your mental health. ICHARS Support Foundation is an institute that focuses on helping and managing mental health states for people. Our primary objective is to be able to help people understand the importance of mental health, and to that effect, every activity that we do under this NGO revolves around creating that awareness. There are two major projects that we are running under ICHARS Support Foundation right now. One is the Project Rainshine, where the focus is on helping people understand the importance of mental health, and the Wisdom HP Challenge, where the focus is about helping people understand how they can consult a mental health practitioner, benefit by visiting a mental health practitioner, not just when there's a disorder, but actually to live a happier, healthier, and a more fulfilling life. With that, let me introduce our guest for today, Ekta sister. In today's episode, we are going to focus on understanding how meditation can help people with spinal cord injuries. Ekta sister is a Rajyoga Meditation practitioner from 22 years. She is a faculty, research coordinator, and core group member of Spiritual Application Research Center, which is SpARC wing, Delhi, NCR. She is also an ethical committee member as Theologist of Indian Spinal Injury Center, volunteering in various capacities as at hospitals, institutions of differently abled children, schools, colleges for youth development, de-addiction camps, and promoting depression-free society. Welcome, Ekta sister. Thank you for joining us today on this episode, for helping us, guiding us, and really helping us spread the importance of meditation and its impact on spinal cord injury.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. And anything that you would like to say before we begin?
Can we sit for in a silence for 1 minute?
Sure.
Okay. Let's remember God for a moment. Let's concentrate. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Sure. So, Ekta sister, before we begin, anything that you would like to say about what we are going to discuss today?
Yeah, definitely. The spinal cord injury is a disability where a person doesn't know how long he would be able to come back or regain their independencies and all, because he is either confined to the wheelchair or a bedridden person. So this disability is basically not giving the assurance of the life. So people are suffering from all the sects like physical, mental, social, economical, environmental, like all four and five factors are affecting to them. So actually we initiated this with the sevas, like BhramaKumaris center through. So we have started to initiate the seva, and then initially patients were too negative because their main focus is how to regain their independency in the earning thing, and they were not interested to do the meditation. But slowly, gradually, when they receive the positive vibrations from us, they start doing it, and then they regaining the things, and then mouth to mouth services there. Then their doctors himself, they ask like, let's do the research on it, how this meditation is affecting on them. So therefore this journey has been started of the meditation, and like patients, their staff, their caregivers, everyone is being benefited of this Rajyoga meditation over there. So this is like it's just a journey which everyone can do it in any field of the life, any walk of life.
Brilliant, perfect. And would you be able to define in detail what were the psychological and functional outcomes and how were they measured as a part of this study?
Yeah, actually, the spinal injury patient, as I have mentioned, they are disability. This disability they are suffering from the physically. So that physical impact, like when they will come out from this thing, like you just imagine if you are confined for a single or small things to the other person, how your life will be. So every time they have attention, their role has been changed, and the suffering is like from youth is more suffered, and adults and the senior citizens. So whole life they are dependent on the other person. So these kind of feelings, it is affecting to their psychological tension, and they are not interacting in a social context also because they think they are not worthwhile people. So therefore we have like just take it out, like their depression, anxiety level is too much increase. So we have used some psychological scales which are like heads, hospital anxiety and depression scale. There is a perceived stress scale. There's a skin is a functional outcome scale which shows like self-care, respiratory and inspector. Then their mobility indoor and the outdoor as well. So it shows like how the person is able in the functional movements, and then numeric pain rating which is showing the pain scale and the quality of life. So these are the five scales we have used to assess them, and we have gone very successful outcomes in all these scales, even the functional, because the research has revealed that psychological impact has also been influence to the physical parameters also.
All right, perfect. And it's so true that when people have these kinds of challenges where they feel that they're dependent on certain people in their family, it can be so emotionally taxing both for the ones who are having the problems and the caregivers. Generally, the physical aches and pains is more evident, and we know that all right, this is what they are suffering from. But the psychological impact of it is something which is at times completely hidden and which actually have a more long-lasting impact on them than what most people consider.
Yes, that's true, because their emotional reaction in daily life, daily activities are suffering. So this emotional reaction are impacting to their caregivers also, because they don't have a good relation with them. Because when a person who's not having pleasant feeling for the self, how can he have a good interpersonal relations with other? And even these people are taking less interest to do their exercises and all, like their physiotherapy or the rehabilitation things, because every day they have having some different consequences. Sometimes their blood pressure is going, sometimes they have anxiety, and people are not suffering, like caregivers are putting pressure like do the exercises, and they are not suffering what is going inside to them. So they are mentally too disturbed. People who is the only earning source of the family, they think like how the family will run, how the show will run, what will be happen. And the person, those are illiterate and they are coming from a very poor background, every day they have to fix some amount of some using some extensive, some whatever products they are using. So every day at least 10 rupees charges are there. and they feel happy when they are staying with the same group, but they are not having a good relation with their family. Like if I've seen the youth, they are not having good relation with their parents, they are just fighting with them for everything. The married couples, they are not having good relations with the husband or the wife, they are just putting pressure. So there is a fatigue kind of thing, there's a frustration from the self, because they are not a negative concept, you can say, they have developed for the self. So these are the things which is affecting to their physical exercises also, which providing to the hospitals.
Correct. So, for all of you who are watching us right now, it's very important to realize that while there are things that you can do to manage your physical health, if emotionally you are not in the right mental state, in spite of knowing what you need to do, you're at times not able to do that. And that's even more frustrating. uh, while we're talking about spinal cord injury and so on, just think about it in your day to day life. There are times when I'm sure you know that in order to manage your health better, you have to eat healthy food. But when you're not in the right mental state, you naturally want to go towards that junk food, that unhealthy food, which stops you from kind of living the kind of life that you want to live. Only because you feel that that food will make you feel happy. Imagine if you were to able to focus on your mental state to an extent where you are feeling happy irrespective of the food that you are eating. You will notice that your natural eating habits are far more healthier than what you assume they are. It's just that if you're in that right mental state, a lot of things can actually work out a lot more effectively for you. And hence, we keep emphasizing this over and over again that it's important that you keep focusing on your mental health, you keep focusing on your emotional health, so that you're in that right mental and emotional state to do what you think needs to be done. So, Ekta sister, before we go ahead, because we're talking about caregivers and how at times this interaction between caregivers and the actual people who are facing problems per se, who are in the hospitals, how that interaction can play out. Any particular tips that you would like to give to caregivers?
Yeah, the same meditation tips we have given to caregivers. When both are doing this meditation, we have seen the correlation. When there is an improvement in the patient psychology, then the caregiver are also able to handle them very easily. So there is a good interpersonal relationship we have seen after that. And
Ah,
when the patient is relaxed, he is happy to eat, he is happy to do the exercise. So caregivers' burdens are very less than as usual. Like, and they are not giving any frustration kind of thing to their caregivers. Otherwise, they are always frustrated with their caregivers, because the environment is like that. When they discuss with everyone in the same scenario, and they see to other people like who's getting overcome from this injury, they are having some relief from the injury, so they start comparing when I will be. These kind of questions has been developed in their mind. So we can easily understand their situation. And there are two kind of injury, like paraplegic and the tetraplegic. Paraplegic, like their lower limbs are not functioning, and tetraplegic, their all four limbs are not functioning. But everyone's body is different, their injury is different, so they cannot be like on the same space. Like if someone is improving, other cannot be on the same pace. But they compare. If someone is doing the day when they was to be discharged, they were not feeling happy. They were feeling sad. You know why? Because
hmm,
now who will be doing the things? So
correct.
these kind of mental state they had. So therefore, it's very important to have a good interpersonal relationship between caregiver and them. If it is good relationship, then they can easily handle at home to the patient. But if it is not there, it's very difficult for them also to handle at home, because in hospital there is a whole team which can be managed to the patient, but at home only caregiver has to be taken care. So that's how the things are there.
Perfect. So these goes out to all the caregivers as well. If you are a caregiver for someone who's struggling with a particular challenge and you are taking care of them, uh, it's amazing that you are doing all the work that you are doing to take care of them. But please also take care of yourself. It's equally important.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So correct. So going back to the research, Ekta sister. So would you be able to give me or give us a bit more detail about the methodology and the target population for your research paper?
Yeah, as you have already mentioned, this is a spinal cord injury. So the target population is definitely the spinal cord injured patients, and their age group we have taken the 16 to 70 years, because after 60 years, we would say like there is a less improvement in the physical parts. So we have taken up those patients, and those are having a comfortably sitting for 45 minutes at least for the meditation classes. So 20 minutes we give them the discourse of our Rajyoga course, which we are usually giving to our centers, and 10 to 20 minutes meditation they do it. We shows them the inspirational videos and all, and the tools I have already mentioned, which we have used to assess them in a pre sample, and it is a non-randomized control trial, because we have recruited 150 patients, and out of them hundreds are ready to do part of it, and there are the two groups, experimental group and the control group. The experimental group, at the end of the study, only 46 participants were there, and in the control group 45, because the 46 participants, the four participants they have relieved earlier from the hospital, therefore we couldn't take the data of their post measurements, and the control group, the five patients, they have been relieved earlier, so we could not trace their contact details and all. So this study has been conducted approximately 100 patients, and we have covered their caregiver as well. So the patient and their caregiver, like the family member or a person who is taking care of them. So we have seen accordingly. So this is a methodology, but the patient, those are the completely bedridden or facing already some other psychological problems. We have not taken this the part of this study. And evening we have gone daily, and we personally interact with them for 45 minutes. And in the morning they do their own one medication commentary, which followed in the evening also. So they do at home, when the moment they get up in the morning, they do follow this meditation.
All right. Okay. Perfect. And what were the outcomes of this research, and how can, as in, so how is it that Raj Yoga meditation contributed to give better results in this research?
Yes, the results are very significant of this whole research. Like as we have mentioned, like hospital anxiety and depression scale we have used. So the anxiety and depression both are the stated in the p-value is 0.001, where we have mentioned like we have taken the standard of 0.005. The same thing is the quality of life highly increased in all the patients those were part of the meditation, and their functional outcomes like skin has also been improved, and their numeric pain rating, like the pain rating scale we have followed, which is a 0 to 10 degree, which shows the intense measurements of how much pain they have. So it is also a significant results we have observed. So yes, the Raj Yoga has been contributed a lot, because it gives them a meaningful and a purposeful life, like how they can lead a meaningful life with this disability. So that's how the Raj Yoga helps them to come out, because the as per the psychology of whatever we perceive from the environment, like what we acquired from the environment, we usually understand the self tag. So they come out from their negative self concept, because when through the Raj Yoga, when we give them a positive thought to think about positive for the self, so that intrapersonal relation with the self, and they connect, so that relation gives them a pleasant feeling. When they start thinking positive, like with this disability, how they can lead a beautiful life, a meaningful life, what other things they can do, how they can prove their worth. So they explore their inner values, the inner virtues which everyone has, that is like your peace, your powers, your purity, the knowledge what they have gained through this Raj Yoga meditation, it helps to understand like their body is injured, but the energy which is working through this body, that is not injured. So that is the same. But if we create the negative thoughts, then this energy is depleted. So when they understand this concept, they start enhancing their energy. So we give them a practice of swaman, which we say self-respect. So every time, whenever they have something being bluish or the darkness, they have to think one thing, like I am the pure soul and I am a master almighty authority. So purity means I don't have anything negative inside of me, neither from the environment nor what has been happened with me. So the power of mind, it gives them a power to their mind and the power of thoughts. So these thoughts are changing in their emotional and the behavioral state of mind. So that's how the Raj Yoga contributed to them to come out from their negative self concept to positive self concept. And this positivity leads further to their uh, good relationship with their peer group, their parents, with the social interaction as well. So the positive reinforcement which Raj Yoga has been provided them, it's helped them.
All right, perfect, brilliant. And before we go ahead about the research again, since you've spoken about Rajyoga meditation, I am assuming there is a course on Rajyoga meditation also. Would you be able to give us a bit more detail about that?
Yes, the Rajyoga meditation is basically a 7 days course where in which we explain like the knowledge, what exactly we are. So and the knowledge of there are the four limbs: the knowledge, which is wisdom; yoga means the divine connection; dharana means inculcation of this connection, the virtues which we have explained, like which has already been there, but how your spiritual energy to be gain these virtues again. And the seva means to have a good feelings and the thoughts for the self and to the others, like good wishes also for the others. So these are the four limbs of this Raj Yoga, which they have been practiced through 1 month, and the godly versions, the motivated versions, which tell us how to lead our life in any situations. So these are the four limbs. Like when they come into this knowledge, when they understand, as I have explained, like this body is injured, but not the energy which is running this body, and then they understand who am I. I'm really a powerful being. I'm really a pure being. And peace and positivity is my real original nature. What I'm acquiring from the environment, this is giving me a suffering only. So when they understand this, they come out from their suffering, the pain which they are creating by their own through their thoughts. So this knowledge is affecting and give them a enlightenment and come out from the darkness. Then the knowledge about the universal flow, as we everyone knows, like how we run from day to night. Our energy is higher at the daytime, and when in the night it is quite lesser. The same way, like so, the energy is constantly changing. So there in this world, nothing is being permanent. It is all perishable. So when they understand this concept, it's a universal flow, it's a law of nature, that that nothing is constant. They can understand we can regain our energy. But how we spiritual energy that been gained, because we all are spiritual being, the energy which is working inside, how it is working. So the spiritual energy, so this someone of this spiritual energy is having a spiritual parent, that is a supreme power, that is God, who is an unlimited source of this energy. So when firstly connect to the self to understand you are an energy, and then you connect with that supreme being who is a supreme energy and unlimited source of the innate values, which is peace, purity, wisdom, power, happiness, love, because we all are, they are lacking all of these things due to the unnecessary thoughts, lot of thoughts which they are taking. They are not finding the path. So this knowledge gives them a path. They show the path to them. And in this way, when they connect with the supreme energy and inculcate these virtues, and imbibes, this is called dharana. And when they have these virtues, they automatically thinking good for the self, and they spread the good wishes for the others. In this way, this Rajyoga meditation takes place at the centers also, and they also learned about it and they started doing this.
Ah, that's interesting. That's very nice.
Yeah.
And coming back to um, the research bit that we were talking about. So, the research on the spinal cord injury, how is this study different from other studies? And how does this organization work on a financial level?
Okay. Uh, See, this study basically we have seen a lot of evidences which has been shown that meditation is really work on the psychological level because it gives some relaxation, and the same thing, and the psychological wellness can be further moved to the physical wellness also. But the previous evidences has not been shown that there is an improvement in the pain. Whereas the study has been revealed, yes, the meditation can help to remove our pain when we come out from our internal pain and the sufferings, right? So this is the one aspect, and the other aspect, till now there is no study which has been revealed like how psychological influences to the physical parameters. Though they have said yes, it works. It works through the cognitive, affective, and cognitive also, uh, and which further influence to physical parameters. But there is no study on the SCI patients which has been proved like their functional improvement has been there. But this study has been revealed yes, psychological improvement can leads to a functional improvement as well. So this is, but this is a short term we have done because the patients were available only for a month. So this was a short term study. We have to do a follow up study for the results also, so that we can see the long term results later on. And this
Okay.
organization, regarding the second question, like financial context. So our organization, those are the following our rules and regulation. Those are the child of God and continuously coming to attend our classes and all. What they are contributing to our centers, this organization is running from them. And this study, there is nothing is related to the fundings and all. This has been totally volunteering we have.
Okay, so this is totally volunteering, right?
Yeah.
Ah, that's very interesting. That's very nice. Um, okay, and then have you faced any limitations during the process of your research,
Yes.
meditation commentary that you have used with spinal cord patients and caregivers?
Yeah, actually, the limitation is yes there because meditation is a thing where we have to motivate to the people. Yes, it is working. Till now, people know that there is a benefit of the meditation, but they are not ready to follow it. So, to encourage the patient, like to do the meditation, this is one limitation. Therefore, we have to do a non-randomized control trial, as it is totally a willingness of the patient whether they want to be a part of the study or not. So, the randomization was the first thing which we have finding the limitation. The secondly, as I have mentioned, like patients who are available for a month only. So we took up the follow-up study for the same. So it is a short-term effect we have been observed, and as the patients were also someday they are not feeling well, someday they have some other excuses and all. So it's been difficult, and they wanted to see the result very fast. Though the psychological level the results are coming, but they want to see the physical results very faster than the others. So that's a big challenge because their mental state is like, as we have mentioned, their limbs were not working. So someone is having the lower limbs problem, someone is having upper limbs problem. So when there is small finger or there is some movement in their finger or something, then they feel happy. But it was a coincidence also. And the next day, if it is not happening, they were feeling sad. They said how the meditation is leading to us for the further improvement and all. We are the same. But gradually, they realize their happiness and hope scale is really high, and there are a lot of things which is being, yes, they are able to do mentally. So these were the limitations mainly, and we have planned like for the further studies to do some bio. We will use some biomarkers to give a more specific evidences.
Okay, perfect, brilliant. Uh, Now that we know about the study and what the results of the study were, just before we end, if you could also give us a brief idea about how the learnings from Rajyoga meditation can be applied in day-to-day lives by different people.
Yes, it is there, and worldwide our organization is doing it, and millions of people are taking the benefit of it, and there are more than 10 lakhs brothers and sisters. Those are already being joined this, and they are part of our family. We can say that, and they are also spreading this thing. Uh, every day to day life, because this meditation is very easy, you don't need to sit any particular posture, you don't, there is no age group required. Means while performing any task or doing any work, you can do this meditation, because you have to give yourself one positive thought and trying to stay in that thought while doing any karmas or performing any actions. So that's how this meditation you can do. So you don't need any sitting posture. If you suppose if you are going from home to office, you are just giving yourself a positive thought while sitting during the whole journey. So this whole journey is giving you a positivity. It is not giving you like your journey was very long, it's half an hour or 1 hour, or how the outside traffic was. So you are come out from all those things. Hmm? Your focus is being on the self and on the positive thought. You are not defocused from your orientation. So other things is being excluded from your life. So that's how
That's
this meditation we can apply in day-to-day life. Just sit anywhere, just give yourself a thought for a minute. While when you're working in the office also, suppose we are not continuously sitting, we all need a change and rest. So before jumping to the other task, if we give one for a minute to connect with the self and give a positive thought for the self, it's re-energized to you. So that's how you can apply it in day-to-day life. In the morning when you get up, you just give yourself one positive thought and connect with the divine for a whole day. So the morning we used to say it's a foundation of the day. So morning when we get up, our slate is clean, and what thought we generate in the morning, that works the whole day in a positive manner and energetic manner. So, starting from the early morning and then up to the night, we can do it that way.
that's very nice. Thank you for sharing that with us, for giving us those details. Before we end, there's also a video that we have to play. Would you be able to quickly give an introduction to what that video is so that people know what we are playing?
Yeah, this video is like the patients and their caregivers and the hospital staff who has been supported to this classes and the research. They all have been participated in this documentary, and it is just a glimpse of that documentary, the interviews and all. And the chairman of the Indian Institute of Spinal Injury Center, which is situated in Delhi at the Vasankunj, where this research has been conducted. So he also believed the power of mind, and he himself is a Padma Shri awardee, and Mr. H.P.S. Aluwalia ji. So you will be finding him here also. So how the power of mind works for a person. So therefore, they said like your ideology and our ideologies are similar, so you can go ahead. And therefore, they have allowed us to do seva in their hospital. So it's really, I'm really thankful for him, and thankful to Dr. Chavda, who's the chief of the spine surgeon of that hospital, and who encouraged us to do this research work and. Move ahead, and at every step he encourages and he involved his staff to conduct the research in a nice way, and the biostatistician and the whole research team, the rehabilitation team, HOD of the rehabilitation team, Dr. Chitra, and the occupational therapist, Dr. Randhi Lal Ranjan, who has recruited the patients and motivated to the patient to attend these classes. So I acknowledge all them, really my heartful gratitude, along with the Almighty Authority who has inspired us to do this and who has guided us to do this and help to these patients to overcome from their challenges. So after this video, we'll just conduct a short commentary what we have done for them. Right? Okay.
Sure. So just give me a moment. I'm playing that video for all of you.
गुरु नानक की एक लाइन याद आती है which sums up the philosophy of my life. It is man niva matuchi.
मेडिटेशन हुआ, उससे दिमाग मतलब 2 मिनट के लिए 4 मिनट के लिए रिलैक्स हुआ।
जो पेशेंट कभी स्माइल भी नहीं कर रहे होते हैं और जिस दिन उनके चेहरे पर स्माइल आती है, वो शायद मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा खुशी देती है। और जब तक पेशेंट स्माइल नहीं करता, मैं तो उसको छोड़ती ही नहीं।
मेडिटेशन उनको हेल्प कर रहा है। अगर वो डिप्रेशन से बाहर निकल रहे हैं तो फिर वो अपने घर से बाहर निकलेंगे।
जब डिप्रेस होते हैं तो बिल्कुल उससे तुरंत कुछ समय में ही निकल आते हैं डिप्रेशन से।
But I was able to be focused here and be very still. And afterwards the doctor said to me, "Are you a meditator?" I smiled and said yes.
मेरे को तो ये एक है बाबा, तो हाँ हो जाएगा। कभी डाउट नहीं, दर्शन का।
Former chief of the BhramaKumaris, Dadi Janki Ji, who was 104 years. He has like God is the best companion and only one who is supporting us in the life. So that the main determined thought she had, like God. God means Father. So Baba is with me, and Sister Jayanti, she is a European international director of our organization, and she said like when she's meditating, like doctor is also like stunned how she's feeling well. So the silence is giving us the power, and this meditation really, the belief in the self and the God, is really giving the encouragement and improvement at every path of the life. And our sister Saroj, she's the director of a Sankuin Center who has initiated the services of this Spinal Injury Institute. So furthermore, she is guiding me to do these services, so I'm thankful for them also. And Sister Kshira, who's a center in charge of our Vasantya Center, and she was also supporting me to do this research. So I'm thankful for her also for everything for this meditation journey, which has been really benefited to the patient, the staff of the ISIC. Yeah,
Okay.
So can we go ahead for the meditation commentary which we have been conducted, or we have to pick up the questions for the audience?
All right, let me just check. No, I don't think there are any specific questions.
Okay.
So we can go on to the commentary.
Okay, fine. So just sit straight. Open your eyes. If in between you find, then you may close the eyes. This commentary I am going to speak in Hindi so that many of the audience can take benefit of that. As the energy is spreading in the whole body. So we have to realize firstly the energy which I am. महसूस करें पैर के अंगूठे से लेकर घुटनों तक प्रकाश की किरणें निकल रही हैं। पैर के अंगूठे से लेकर घुटनों तक का हिस्सा प्रकाश का बन गया है। अब ये एनर्जी कमर तक जा रही है। कमर तक का भी हिस्सा प्रकाश का बन गया है। धीरे धीरे ये शोल्डर्स की तरफ मूव हो रही है और दोनों हाथों में फैलने लगी। और ग्रेजुअली सर की तरफ बढ़ने लगी। So head to toe and toe to head मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ प्रकाश से बनी हुई हूँ। इस प्रकाश के बीच में मैं एक एनर्जी, मेरी ही एनर्जी इन सारे ऑर्गन्स में फैली हुई है। इस एनर्जी में knowledge, purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss and power है। मैं इन 7 वर्च्यूज से बनी हुई डिवाइन एनर्जी कुछ क्षणों के लिए इसे अपने आप में महसूस करें। इस एनर्जी का सोर्स सुप्रीम फादर है, जो मेरी ही तरह एक पॉइंट ऑफ लाइट है। ये सदा मेरे साथ है। महसूस करें कि वो आपके सामने है। उस डिवाइन पॉइंट ऑफ लाइट से इन सारे गुणों और शक्तियों की किरणें मुझ डिवाइन एनर्जी में समाने लगी हैं। एनर्जी के द्वारा अब ये पूरे ब्रेन में फैलने लगी, पूरे नर्वस सिस्टम में पावर, प्योरिटी, पीस की किरणें फैलने लगी है। मेरा पूरा नर्वस सिस्टम क्लीन हो गया है, प्योर हो गया है। अब ये एनर्जी पूरी स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में धीरे धीरे फैलती जा रही है। जैसे जैसे मेरे एक एक ऑर्गन में ये एनर्जी फैलने लगी, अपने आप को विश्राम दीजिए कि अब मेरे सारे ऑर्गन्स हील होने लगे हैं। अपने आप को देखिए कि आप ठीक हो गए हैं। आपके सारे ऑर्गन्स ठीक तरह से कार्य कर रहे हैं। Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you for this amazing experience that you have given all of us. Um, and now that we are reaching the end of this series, I would really like to thank everyone who has been involved in this series. I come here every week taking the interviews, but probably my work is the easiest of everyone else who is coming over here. So, all the guests, all the speakers, the entire team in the back end who have been able to help us spread the word, help us create the creatives, and all the other work that we have been able to do to be able to bring this really incredible series to all of you. So, thank you everyone for putting in the efforts that you've put in. I would also like to thank all of you who have joined us week after week to be able to learn about the things that we've spoken about. I understand some of these things were research oriented, so they may have been a bit heavier, but all of you have stuck with us. You have come back every week to listen to what we are talking about. So thank you. I really hope that we have been able to bring more clarity in your minds, in your lives, in terms of the importance of meditation, the researches behind it, why it's important for you to focus on your mental health, and why it's important for you to seek help. So, Ekta sister, just before we end, there's this one thing that we do with all our speakers, because one of the reasons of creating these lives is to spread the importance of mental health and why people should focus on mental health. One of the things that we are requesting people more and more is to become open to the idea of seeking help when they need it. And if they're not sure whether they need help or not, it's all right for them to just connect to someone, speak to someone, and figure out whether connecting with a mental health practitioner would really be helpful for them in them being able to achieve the outcome that they want to achieve. Um, so for that, we generally request all our speakers to make this announcement that they are open to the idea of consulting a mental health practitioner whenever they feel there's a scope for them to improve the quality of life. If you could just be kind enough to make that announcement, then that will be great.
Okay. Yeah, that's very important because as you have seen series by series, like how this Rajyoga is impacting on our life. So the mental health is really very, very important because people are not more suffering from the physical health rather than the mental health. So if we have controlled our mind, our sense organs, it's automatically being controlled. So, and therefore, the ICHARS has taken an initiative to update you of the through the series, and they have started this meditation program for you, which has been going for the another 15 episodes will be there, and it's been starting from this Monday onwards. So, let all of you, those have been already registered, will join, and always been taking care of your mental health, as Brother Nitin has been mentioned. Like it is very, very important. If you are not showing to the family member or someone else, but you have to go to some consultant so that you can get rid of it and live a very healthy and the quality of life, because that is very, very important in nowadays. Keeping in view the present scenario and the environment outside, everyone is living with the fear, with the uncertainty and all. So if one is having a light, can enlighten to the others. So, but if there are all the bulbs are fused, it's been difficult for everyone to live in the present scenario. So be a light to show the path to the other. So keep your mental health very well, and it enhance to the further well-being in all the aspects. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ekaran, for being here, for guiding us through this entire episode, for answering all our questions. And any of you who would like to connect with us, who would like to ask us any other questions that you have, please feel free to ask us. Even if the series is over right now, I'm sure we will come up with something or the other in the coming days. And there will always be opportunities for us to interact with each other and for us to answer your questions. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope to see you all soon in the other episodes and other series that we launch in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank
Take care.
Okay, Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti.